Good afternoon, Storm Chasers. We are here at the Hive in the mobile broadcast booth. It's Oklahoma City Storm Middle School's junior varsity taking on Carl Albert. Teams are still warming up. Carl Albert's already finished. Storm is on the court finishing their warm-ups. We'll let you know when that first set's about to start. I don't think any of the boys team cast it.
Yeah, I just didn't know if there was like if parents know. Because I think we have some that could that regularly are there.
Yeah, at the last Cassidy game, middle school played and then varsity and JV played at the same time, so I did varsity, so they may not know.
Okay. So maybe tomorrow, are you there tomorrow at the Cassidy game?
I don't know if I'm going to be at Cassidy or if I'm going to go to Bishop McGinnis.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Or even, are you on our group meet? I was like, I could add you to the group meet and you could tell them how to do it on there. Like set up a profile. Would you want to do that? Or?
That's fine. I mean, I have group meet, but I'm not on the boys.
Because I know there's a couple other JV parents asking. I was like, oh, it's so cool. Okay. And this is JV and varsity. What's your number?
405 226 3169.
226 3169. Right? Yep. Okay. See. It's Wes.
WES.
So I don't know if you're able to. I know you sent that for us in our JV girl snap, so I thought maybe that route. That way I can sign my son up for the profile and other parents and stuff too. But it's great. I love what you're doing.
All right, Storm Chasers, here we go. This is a scrimmage, so I missed the official headed to the podium. So you didn't get your standard intro. Carl Albert had the serve first. The ball went wide and out. That was Peyton with a serve for the Storm. Camden passing ball over the net. Storm got the point. Did not make it over the net. Peyton with a short serve, made it over the net. Carl Albert with a set. And push it over. Evie gets it up a little too far. Camden can't get to it. Point Carl Albert. It's 2-1. Carl Albert with the serve. There's the toss, and the ball is wide and out. Point Storm, 3-1. Ellie back to serve for Storm. There's the send. Carl Albert moving the ball forward. Free ball's over the net. Brisbane gets it up. Well, able to move it forward. Nobody can get underneath it in time. Point Carl Albert. Makes it 3-2. Aniston returns to the back line for Ellie. There's the serve. Kyra puts the ball up. Aniston, then Brisbane sends it over. There's a tip. Barely made it over the net. Storm called on a lift. Makes it a tie game at 3. There's the send. Aniston goes for it. Aniston and Peyton getting close together, and the ball gets shanked out. Makes it 3-4. Toss, the swing, the ball's over the net. Peyton. Brisbane moves it back in, and Evie passes it over the net, but the ball goes wide. 3-5. Carl Albert up by 2. There's a serve. Kyra tries to get a piece of it, sends the ball out. 3-6. There's the serve. Aniston keeps it up. Evie with the set. Camden passes it deep. It's out. 3-7. Carl Albert up by 4. The toss, the send. Right in between Aniston and Peyton. An ace for Carl Albert makes it 3-8. There's the serve. Peyton puts it up. Evie to Kyra. Kyra swings at it. Passed back over. Aniston, Evie out to Camden. A little bit low. Camden tries to swing at it. Comes off the heel of her hand and onto the floor. Makes it 3-9. Toss, the swing, the ball's over the net. Aniston moves it up to Evie. It's close to the net. Evie's not able to play it out of the net. Makes it 3-10. There's the serve, back to Aniston. Aniston's got it up. Evie with the bump set. Camden passes it over. It's a little bit wide. Makes it 3-11. There's the serve. Peyton puts it up. Evie runs for it, gets it up a little bit. Kyra passing it over the net. Sent back over. Brisbane gets it up. Anderson with a high pass. Hits the top of the tape and then falls down on the Storm side. 3-12. Timeout Storm. Back from the timeout, it's 3-12. Carl Albert with the serve. There was the serve over the net. Storm put the ball into the net. Point Carl Albert, 3-13. There's the toss, the swing, deep serve. Peyton went for it. The ball's off her arms and back. Point Carl Albert. There's a serve. Aniston picks the serve up. Evie to Camden with a roll shot to the back line. Passed up and back over. Kyra gets the ball, sends it over. Carl Albert sends it over on 2. Aniston to Evie. Back to Camden. Carl Albert passes it over. Evie with a set to Aniston from the 10-foot line. Carl Albert sends it back. A high pass by Brisbane. Evie. Brisbane sends it over. Carl Albert keeps the ball in play. There's a send into the net. Point Storm. Makes it 4-14. Camden back to serve. Deep serve to the Carl Albert back line. The ball gets moved forward, passed over the net. Aniston up to Evie. Brisbane with the tip. Into the donut. Carl Albert puts it into the net. Point Storm. Another deep serve to the Carl Albert back line. Carl Albert hits the top of the tape and rolls over. There's a set. Kyra sends it deep. Shanked out by Carl Albert. Point Storm. There's the send. Carl Albert passes it back over the net. Kyra gets the ball up. It's tight to the net. Carl Albert puts it down. 6-15. Here comes the serve. That's an ace for Carl Albert. It's just inside the line. 6-16. Here's the serve. Another ace for Carl Albert. Toss the swing. It's over. It's deep. Anderson gets the ball up. And then the floor gets it. 6-18. Carl Albert serve goes into the net. Point Storm, 7-18. Evie back to serve. And substitution Storm. Is that Maggie comes in for Peyton. Heavy serve hits the tape and goes over the net. Carl Albert sends it back across. It's in at the sideline. Point Carl Albert. There's the serve. Aniston gets it up and over the net. The ball was going out, bounced off a Carl Albert player's foot. That counts as a touch. Point Storm. Aniston back to serve. The deep serve put up by Carl Albert. There's a pass and then passed over the net. Aniston moves it up to Evie. An outside set to Brisbane. Brisbane takes a swing at it, puts it into the tape. 8-20, excuse me. There's the toss and the serve. Aniston puts it up and back. Brisbane runs back and grabs it. Evie tries to pass it over the net, but it's low. Point Carl Albert makes it 8-21. There's the serve. Brisbane sends it deep to the Carl Albert line. Carl Albert with a set and then a free ball over. Brisbane puts it up to Evie. There's a set. Brisbane with the tip. Carl Albert keeps it in play. There's a swing that's wide and out. Point Storm. 9-21. Brisbane with the serve. There's the send outside. Carl Albert keeps it in play, moving the ball around. Free ball is up and over the net. Brisbane to Evie. There's a set to Camden. Rolls it over into the back line. Carl Albert moves the ball forward. Roll shot to Aniston. It's up to Evie. Middle set to Ellie. Pushes it deep. Carl Albert unable to get it over the net on three. Point Storm, 10-21. There's the delivery. Pass back over in one. Evie puts it up. Maggie to Brisbane. Shanked out by Carl Albert. Point Storm, 11-21. Timeout, Carl Albert. Right, back from the timeout, it's 11-21. Storm down by 10. Brisbane with the serve. There's the send. Carl Albert puts the ball up and over. Evie gets it up and back over. There's a swing. Maggie to Brisbane. It's up. Ellie back passes deep into their Carl Albert's back line. There's a high swing. Aniston moves it up to Evie. Middle set to Aniston from the back row. Carl Albert with the middle set. Swing over to Brisbane. Evie with the outside set. Camden pushes it back, and it's in. Point Storm. There's the delivery. Carl Albert keeps it in play. Big pass over. Ellie puts it up, and Evie back to Ellie. Carl Albert not able to play it. Point Storm, 13-21. Another deep serve. Carl Albert puts it up. Moves it forward. Free balls it over the net. Brisbane. Evie with a bump set. Back to Brisbane. Shoved over to the back line. Swing sends it over. Brisbane. Maggie passed back over. Carl Albert takes a swing at it and sends it to the floor. 14-21. Carl Albert plays the serve, sends it over. Aniston cuts it off, moves it forward. Nobody there to get the second touch. Makes it 14-22. Carl Albert serves. Ellie gets it off the tape. 14-23. When those serves hit the tape, it's hard for anybody to pick them up. There's the serve. Brisbane takes a dive for it, can't get underneath it enough. Point Carl Albert, timeout Storm. Good, yourself? All right, back from the timeout. Storm 14, set point Carl Albert. Set point Carl Albert with the serve. The ball goes into the net. Point Storm makes it 15-24. Peyton in for Maggie. Peyton goes back to serve. There's the serve. Carl Albert sends it back over. Nope, Carl Albert attempted to send it back over, but it was short and in the net. Makes it 16-24. There's the serve. Carl Albert puts it up. From the 10-foot line, they send it into the net. Point Storm makes it 17-24. There's the serve. It's over. Carl Albert passing the ball over the net. Aniston puts it up. Evie with a bump set to Aniston. Shoves it to their back line. There's a big swing by Carl Albert. It's long. Point Storm, 18-24. Ball's back over. It's up. Evie with a set to Brisbane from the 10-foot line. Passed back over. Camden sends it over to Evie. Brisbane with a pass over the net. There's a send, and it's in. Carl Albert wins the first set, 25-18. Okay, Storm Chasers, I'll get it right this time. Teams are back on the court. Lineups have been checked. The ref is on the way to the podium. That means it is time for set number 2. Storm starts off with the serve. Brisbane has the ball. There it is to the back line. Carl Albert puts the ball up. Free balls it over the net. Short. Ellie gets it up, sends it back, though. Point Carl Albert. There's the toss serve, hits the tape and rolls over. Again, those are hard to get. Ended up on the floor. Point Carl Albert, 0-2. There's the serve. Aniston makes a dive for it, sends the ball back over and out. 0-3. There's the toss, the serve. It's a little bit wide. Aniston reaches for it, sends the ball farther out. Point Carl Albert. The toss, the swing, back to Aniston. Off her arms and back. Point Carl Albert. There's the serve. Aniston gets the ball up into the court. Ellie pushing it to the back line. Carl Albert moves it forward. Back pass, doesn't make it over the net. Point Storm. 1-5. Substitution Storm. Isabella coming in for Peyton. And Isabella goes back to serve. There's the serve. Passed back over. Isabella gets it up. Evie with a bump pass. Ellie sending it to the back line. Carl Albert takes a big swing. Brisbane cuts it off. Camden puts it up. Ellie pushes it over into the donut, but Carl Albert keeps it alive. From the 10-foot line, they take a big swing. Brisbane. Camden spins, but misses where the ball goes. Point Carl Albert, 1-6. There's the toss and the delivery. Ellie tried to cut it off her fingertips and back. Point Carl Albert. There's the serve. It's wide. Point Storm. Kyra into the front line for Aniston and Ellie back to serve. Serve is short. Point Carl Albert. Aniston back in. Carl Albert sends the serve into the net. Point Storm makes it 3-8. Camden back to serve. There it is over the net. Passed back up and over. Kyra sends it back to Carl Albert. Carl Albert with a big swing. It's out. Point Storm, 4-8. An ace for Camden. Five to 8. Camden serves cross court. Another ace for Camden. It's a short serve, barely made it over the net. Carl Albert not able to play it. The deeper serve. Carl Albert gets the ball up. Tips it over on 2. Brisbane to Evie. It's up. Brisbane with a push. Carl Albert swings into the net. Point Storm. Makes it 7-8. That serve went to the back line. Carl Albert dumps it over on 2. Brisbane gets it up. Evie. Nobody sure who to get it. Ball dies. Point Carl Albert, 7-9. Carl Albert with the toss and the serve. Camden goes for it off her arms and back. Makes it 7-10. An ace for Carl Albert. There's the serve. Aniston gets it up and over the net. Sent back over in 2. A dig for Aniston. Another swing. Tipped up by Brisbane. Camden back to Brisbane with a back pass. It's into the net. Point Carl Albert. Seven to 11. Carl Albert serves into the net. Point Storm makes it 8-11. Evie comes back to serve. And that's Maggie in for Isabella. A high deep serve, gets a high pass. Swing from the 10-foot line, goes under the net. Point Storm makes it 9-11. Another high deep pass. Carl Albert tried to dump it over on the second touch and put it into the net. 10-11. Storm down by 1. There's the delivery. That time Carl Albert got it over on 2, but Aniston keeps it off the floor. There's a set. Back pass over the net by Brisbane. A set and a swing. Aniston gets the ball up. Evie runs over, moves it forward, and then Peyton sends it over the net. I'm sorry, that wasn't Peyton, that was Maggie. Carl Albert puts it back. Brisbane gets it up. Evie, the middle set to Kyra. Tipped back over by Carl Albert. It's up. Camden sends it over. Free ball into the net by Carl Albert. Makes it a tie game at 11. Timeout, Carl Albert. All right, back from the timeout. It's tie game at 11. Evie serves for Storm. Carl Albert got the ball back over. Brisbane passed the ball. It was tight to the net. Carl Albert was up to take advantage of it, but they were under the net, so point Storm. Serve goes down to the right side. Tipped over the net. Evie tried to dive and dig it. No luck. Tie game at 12. There's the serve. It's wide. Point Storm. Kyra comes out and Ellie comes back into the front line. Aniston goes back to serve. There's the serve. It's wide. Point Carl Albert. Tie game at 13. There's the toss and the delivery. It's wide. Point Storm, 14-13. Brisbane goes back to serve. There's the send over to the outside. Carl Albert sends it back over with a back set on 2. Brisbane gets it up to Evie. Out to Camden, sends it back. And it's in. Point Storm, 15-13. Ball's over the net. And an ace for Brisbane. 16-13. Looks like a Carl Albert player might have taken a ball to the face, so they're subbing her out for a minute. Brisbane with a serve. It's in at the back line. Another ace for Brisbane. Makes it 17-13. Brisbane serves wide. Makes it 17-14. Storm up by 3. There's the serve. Maggie dives for it, sends the ball out. Makes it 17-15. Storm still up by 2. There's the serve into the tape. Point Storm, 18-15. Substitution Storm. Isabella in for Maggie, and Isabella goes back to serve. Serve goes to the back line. Carl Albert sends it over in 2. Camden to Evie. Storm called on a lift. Makes it 18-16. Serves over. Brisbane puts it up. Evie with set. Brisbane from about the 10-foot line sends it deep. And it's out. Point Carl Albert, 18-17. There's the toss and the serve. Brisbane takes a swing at it. Rolls off her hands and goes out. Tie game at 18. There's the serve. It's bobbled around on the top of the net and fell over Storm side. Ellie was able to get it back over. Carl Albert swings it over, and it's out. Point Storm makes it 19-18. Ellie comes back to serve. Aniston comes out, and Kyra comes into the front line. Short serve. It's over the net. Carl Albert puts it up. Swings from the 10-foot line, sends it over. Brisbane up to Evie. Camden with a roll shot. Carl Albert back over. Brisbane again to Evie. Camden sends it deep. Carl Albert free balls it back over the net. Ellie to Evie. Brisbane off the top of the tape and into the donut. Point Storm, 20-18. High arcing serve to the back line. Carl Albert puts it up. Tries to give it a push, and it's a little bit short. 21-18. Another deep serve. Carl Albert moving it around with a push. Brisbane dives and gets it up. It's over the net. Carl Albert takes a swing at it. Isabella thought it was going to go out. It ended up in. 21-19, Storm up by 2. Aniston back in for Ellie. The toss, the swing, the serve's over the net. Aniston takes a dive for it, pushes the ball out. 21-20. Again, the toss and the swing sends the ball to the other side. It's wide. Point Storm, 22-20. There's the serve. It's over and into the net. Point Storm, 23-20. Timeout, Carl Albert. All right, back from the timeout. It's 23-20. Storm up by 3. Camden has the serve. Ball's over the net and into the donut, and ace for Camden. 24-20, set point Storm. If Storm wins this one, we will go to set number 3. There's the delivery to the outside. Carl Albert puts it up, brings it back into the middle of the court, passes it over. Aniston gets the ball up. Heavy to Brisbane, pushes. Carl Albert sends the ball out. Point Storm, 25-20. We'll be back with set number 3. All right, Storm Chasers, here we go. Teams are back on the courts. Lineups have been checked. The ref is on the way to the podium. It is time for set number 3. Carl Albert starts off with the serve. Carl Albert won the first set. Storm won the second. Not all of them, just a lot of them. Apparently there was a last-minute change to the Carl Albert lineup. All right, looks like we've got the lineup issue all figured out. Here we go. Carl Albert starts off with the serve. The toss, the delivery. Brisbane puts it up. Evie runs over, gets the bump set. Maggie sends it over. Point Storm. Isabella comes in for Maggie and goes back to serve. There's the serve. 1, 2, and 3. It's a high pass. It doesn't make it over the net. Point Storm 2-0. This is set number 3. We're only going to 15. Ball goes off the side of Isabella's hand. Gives Carl Albert their first point. 2-1. Substitution, Carl Albert. There's the serve. It's into the net. Point Storm makes it 3-1. Aniston comes out. Tyra goes into the front line. And Ellie with the serve. There's a big swing. Brisbane tries to cut it off, sends it back. Point Carl Albert 3-2. Aniston returns to the back line for Ellie. The serve is up. Here's a swing. It's over the net. Aniston goes for it, shanks the ball out. Tie game at 3. There's the serve. It's low and over the net. Brisbane puts it up. Isabella. Nobody can get to it for the third hit. Carl Albert gets the point 3-4. There's the serve. It's up. It's into the net. Point Storm. Tie game at 4. Camden back to serve. There's the delivery. It's up. Free ball back over the net. Isabella gets it up. Evie Both Kyra and Isabella thought the other one was going to go for it. Point Carl Albert. Substitution Carl Albert. It's now 4-5. Storm down by 1. Serve goes back to Aniston. There's a dig, gets it up. Storm not able to get it over the net. 4-6. A wide serve goes out. Point Storm. 5-4. Evie brings the ball back to serve. Isabella comes out, and Maggie comes back in. Evie's serve is over the net. Carl Alberts with the swing. Evie gets it up. Camden moves it forward. Brisbane with a back pass over the net. Carl Albert puts it up, swings at it from the 10-foot line, hits the tape, drops back on their side. Point Storm. Tie game at 6. The deep serve by Evie. Carl Albert shanks the ball out, and ace for Evie. Makes it 7-6. Timeout, Carl Albert. Back from the timeout, Storm is up by 1. It is 7-6, and Storm has the serve. Evie serving for Storm. This time the ball goes cross side. It's over the net. Aniston gets the ball up. Brisbane, and then Evie with a pass to the back line. Free balled over the net. Aniston to Evie. Aniston and Kyra colliding together. Not able to get the ball over the net. Makes it tie game at 7. Carl Albert with the serve. There's the toss, the delivery. Brisbane gets it up. Evie with a bump. Nobody's there on that side of the court. Point Carl Albert, 7-8. There it is, Brisbane again. Evie out to Brisbane, this time on the left-hand side. Carl Albert tips over in 2. Brisbane gets it up. Not high enough, nobody able to get underneath it. 7-9, timeout Storm. Back from the timeout, Storm down by 2. It's 7-9. Carl Albert with the serve. There it is. Brisbane picks it up. Heavy runs over through it. Aniston swings at it into the net. Point Carl Albert, 7-10. There's the serve. Aniston gets it up. Maggie gets it over. Carl Albert puts it into the net. Point Storm, 8-10. Kelly comes into the front line. Kyra comes out, and Aniston will serve. Substitution, Carl Albert. There's the serve. It's deep. Shanked out by Carl Albert. An ace for Aniston makes it 9-10. Deep serve. Another ace for Aniston off of the Carl Albert player's arms. Tie game at 10. Deep serve down the right side. Carl Albert gets it up, moves it forward, free balls it over the net. It's deep. Aniston gets it up. Evie with a bump set. Ellie sends it over to their back line. Back row attack. Gets over the net. Aniston dives for it, catches it underneath herself. Makes it 10-11. Carl Albert serve. It was into the net. Point Storm. Tie game at 11. Brisbane back to serve. It's deep. It's up and back over. Evie gets it. Maggie. Aniston with the free ball over the net. Pass goes forward instead of up off of Carl Albert. Point Storm, 12-11. Deep serve. Carl Albert with the free ball over the net. Aniston to Evie. Aniston from the 10-foot line sends it deep, and it's in. Point Storm. 13-11. Storm back up by 2. There's the delivery. It's back over. Aniston gets it up. Evie with the set. Camden with a roll shot to the back line. Carl Albert dumps it over in 2. Camden keeps it off the floor. Aniston gets the ball up, and Evie with a back pass into the net. Point Carl Albert, 13-12. Just as a reminder, our JV team is playing 2 games today. After this game is done, our varsity team, middle school varsity, will play, and then JV will play again. There's Carl Albert serve. Brisbane sends it back over. Gets the point, 14-12. Isabella back in for Maggie, and Isabella will serve. There's the serve. It's down the right side, and it is in on the line. Storm wins set number 3, 15-12.